We're going, yeah.
We going.
Wait, get us on the middle camera to start.
What the fuck's happening, Jimmy? You're fired.
Jimmy, we're going to revisit our contract bonus we committed to you.
I feel like
so
we're paying
mean
you
to
way
him.
too much.
We're so mean to
We're
you.
paying you way too much.
Welcome to Cleveland, America. That is all. Enjoy the show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Cleveland, America.
It's not a serious place.
And today we have a very special guest, Mr. Put a Girl On.
Put a girl on.
Ohio has the coolest people. Cleveland has the coolest people. Are you
Cleveland's got-
Cleveland?
Yeah, I'm Cleveland. Yeah.
You fucking better.
This is exciting for us because this is the first podcast. Mr. Pago, can I call you Mr. Pago?
Yeah.
Feels distinguished. This is the first podcast he's been on, and if you're not familiar with him, what the fuck are you doing? We're just really. You had to have seen this guy. He's definitely made your algorithm, even if you don't follow him. I know that's how I came across him, and gotta say, big fan of what you do, and what you do, i.e., prank calls in 2025, is a near impossible feat. So,
Dude, reinventing
Truly, yeah,
the
yeah.
prank call. Like
Yes,
yes. This is a reinvention of a prank call or crank call, whatever. You guys say prank call or crank call? I
Prank. How
always say
old
prank.
are you? Prank.
Yeah.
Who said,
was always a
who
prank
says
guy.
Prank.
crank
Ew.
yankers.
Crank anchors. Like that was like I feel like that's
Old
more of an
people.
East Coast thing. to
East?
call
Oh, I
it
thought it was
prank.
old people.
No,
I don't know.
I think it's more
Prank.
East. But
So,
Ugh.
like, let's just for the people that
first
don't-
of all, Pants is being so gay right now.
Why?
Like you are so excited
You've
about
never-
this, and like I love it. But like,
Pants is super excited about anything.
Pants is never excited about anything. But he's like, I got questions for him. I'm like,
love
he's like,
this
who's gonna
man.
take control? I'm like,
this is a big deal for me. All
I
right?
know, and it's
Tits, Superman teaser, and Mr. Put a Girl on. That's all I have left to
It's
live
very
This
cute.
is your number one fan.
Well,
Put a
because
girl
it's- if you're not familiar with Mr. Put a Girl on, number one, follow him on Instagram at.
Put a girl on.
And
Sweet.
he pulls off, he threads the impossible needle, not to sound like a comedy snob, where I can't stand the brand of content where people just bother retail workers, right? But Mr. Put a Girl on somehow calls up the same Foot Locker, McDonald's, Taco Bell for 40 nights in a row and 40 days in a row and hooks them every time. And I don't know how in 2025 you could even do that. But it is very funny, and it is a commitment to a bit that is admirable. And like, how'd you get started?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was making music for like years, like probably like the past 8 years or whatever. I ran like a little like in-house music label, and it was just kind of the sense like it's like music isn't the same anymore. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Like it's
Agree-
like we
100%.
already have Drake and you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, everyone else. So realistically, if you're not doing something like
I don't even know if we have Drake anymore. But I get your point. Yeah.
but it's more so just like in like the
Mr. Put a
stream
Girl on.
world
Could
and,
you
like,
put the
yeah. It's more so
yeah.
just like in the stream world and like the brain rock community. It's just like people like short, stupid things. You know what I'm saying? That just
That's
help
why we
their
like
short
Tommy.
attention span move. Yeah.
The brain rock community also loves Tommy.
Yeah.
Also,
Love you too.
brain rock community is definitely one I'm stealing. But I mean, we all put our time in with bands and labels and music and
for
stuff,
sure.
and then when you realize this is not a sustainable business model, I've got to call up Foot Locker 40 days in a row. And
It was just more so like my ex-girlfriend and I were like having a baby, and I was working construction and stuff, and I was just like, this is not cutting it for me. So like the day after my son was born, me and my buddy Carson, shout out Carson Ward, used to prank call places like when we were in like third grade all the time. Everyone did. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just a thing.
how old are you?
29.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, the day after my son was born, I just like, me and my boy were just geeked at the house, and we were like bored, and we're like, let's just prank call someone. So we like prank called people, and we were just like, just saying random stuff. And then like one of the sentences that like, it was some other thing said, but then we cut it at put a girl on, and like, it was like, it started getting that reaction. And then like, we would call them like 5 times a night and just like say, put a girl on over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And that wasn't really what was making them mad at first. It was basically like we would call them like in 10-minute intervals and just be like, put a girl on, and they would hang up, and then like the sixth or seventh time we'd call back and be like, hey, this is so and so.
Dude, the way you can bait them in is one
Yeah.
of the best
So
things.
That
Like,
is-
the voice, like,
yeah, yeah.
because the put a girl on voice is incredible, but it's the switch over from like you can do a pretty good girl voice. You have a
Yeah.
variety of different voices that you can use to pull them in, and because they're working, they have to like be like, okay, what's this about? And you do a very good job of kind of getting them off kilter, and then
Yeah.
when you hit them with the put a girl on, they're like the anger.
They feel so stupid that they fell for it that
Yeah.
it makes them crash out.
Do some of
laughing.
them laugh though? Like,
Yeah,
do you
there's
have-
this
okay.
one, like I think it was like episode 12, like this dude just lost his shit, was laughing so hard about it. And I mean, some people know, like during the Foot Locker season, like one of the dudes was like, "Oh, Mr. Put a Girl on, like 200K on TikTok, like I know who you are," and I was just like, "Fuck!" Like that was the first person out of all 6 seasons that actually knew who I
I would
was.
feel so proud if I got called by
Yeah,
you. You
a
know
lot
what I
of people
mean?
say
Like,
that, yeah, like-
that's so funny.
Yeah, you
That's
definitely
so
have hit that point where it's a badge of honor to get put a girl on.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Whereas, and it's like a horror movie to me, where it's like, because you do have obviously like a talent for coming up with like fake voices, like for Toby Toblerone or whatever. And
Yeah.
he-
Pamela
he-
Pomegranate.
he's got a great British accent too. It's impressive. And then you put
Better
a
than
girl on.
Marty's.
Hey, listen,
Not as
it's close.
racist.
It's close.
Do a Japanese accent. That's a callback to an old episode.
Yeah,
Don't
don't
do
do
it.
it.
Don't do it.
Let's not get you canceled before it gets started
We're
here.
hitting
Yeah.
the Chinese spot for next season, so that's a leak, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
So how does the seasons work in your like? What do you have set up as far as seasons go? How does that work?
So I mean, realistically, we do 30-day seasons. Taco Bell was the only season that was 40 days, just because it was like so good.
So good.
And I was like so new in the brand, I didn't know when it was time to realistically switch. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And like I didn't know how it was gonna go, but we had to keep moving forward. I usually let the fans vote on, like, we'll have 4 or 5 ideas, and I'll put them up as a poll, and I'll let the fans vote.
That's cool. I like that.
So they can interact, and see what they want to see. But it also just depends, like, retail is harder to do than fast food, because for some reason people with retail jobs seem to care more
Yeah.
about their jobs than the fast food workers.
Even though they're not making more money.
Yeah,
like
probably
it's
just
the same
about
money.
the same,
yeah.
if not less.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Are you ever like when you call somebody and you're in the middle of doing your thing? Are you like, why the fuck don't these people just hang up?
yeah, for sure. A lot of people ask that, and they do. But like, it brings me back to what I was saying is like, I mean, I will, like, if I can't get the reaction, like, I will call them like 10 to 12 times.
Yeah.
And like it started going so crazy with Taco Bell. Like I think the 16th day it started going like super viral, and I was at like 50K followers, and someone had doxed the number to the Taco Bell, and there were tens of thousands of people calling this Taco Bell.
Oh, geez.
It was so fucked up. Like it had me shook, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Fuck!" Like, all right. So I had to get in touch with a lawyer and basically be like, he's like, you're not inciting a riot. You're not telling these people like, hey, everybody go call the Taco
Yeah.
Bell right
Yeah.
now. It just got doxxed, and like
Yeah.
at one point when you would call that number, it would go directly to the police department.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Put a cop on.
Seriously. Yeah.
That's the next.
Put a pig on.
the sequel.
Damn.
Put a cop on. Roll on.
Fuck.
But you also kind of you've built a cinematic universe because you have like Oberon
Yeah.
is like a character, like he's now like a guy that exists in your universe that your fans know about.
Yeah, they don't leave me alone about it.
Yeah, Oberon is Oberon.
O'Brien.
Oberon is a Foot Locker employee that could not hang up.
Pants is a
And-
boner right now.
All his ops are dead.
I'm a big listen.
No, he's the one leading the interview. He's doing
This
a good
is
job.
yeah. Because because I am so brain rotted that I don't watch a lot of content creators.
What's the last book you
over
read?
and over again. If you give a mouse a cookie, I think it's like back in 1991. So like, yeah, my brain is smooth as shit right now. But I'll like props to you because it's like I follow and I was like every time I'm like I'm waiting for the act to sort of get old with me, and every time I go, This is gold. I go. That's why I was like, I'll be watching this for fucking. My kids will be watching Mr. Put a Girl on.
Yeah.
So it's
You're not
like, is
having
this all you
kids?
do now? Is like, are you able to like make a living doing this? 'Cause
Yeah,
that's the goal with
yeah.
It's insane.
that rules. That
So I'm
that
definitely
rules
making
so
a
hard.
living doing it, and that was like the cool thing is like when I had my son, I was able to just do this from home and still support my family.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
That's amazing.
But yeah, full time doing it now. It's we got a lot of stuff planned just with more in depth like comedy skits and stuff to drop on top of the prank calls, and we're gonna start live streaming stuff on Twitch and doing calls, taking custom calls and stuff like that.
Nice.
Like you're doing the cameo thing
I was
already.
gonna say,
Yeah,
You
Cameo has been super great for me in the sense of like when I started doing the comedy or just the prank calls in general, I didn't know how much like it was actually helping people. Like a laugh goes a long way.
It
You know
does.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it
So-
absolutely does.
And on cameos, I've had to do cameos before where a dad booked it for his daughter who is going through chemo in the hospital, and I got to call her and say, "Put a girl on in front of her whole family." And stuff. It's been crazy. Like some
Yeah.
dads have me call
Aw.
their kids and say it and stuff, and it's like it's crazy. Just
love
it blows
that
my
rules,
mind, but
that
it
rules.
goes like it was doing more than I thought it was. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So.
Did you have like a vision for this thing when you started doing it, or are you just fucking around? And you're just
No,
like,
we just went in. I mean,
see
I
where
was
it goes.
telling the boys beforehand. I'm like, we got to do something out of the norm. Like, go pull up to a Taylor Swift show and everyone's wearing a shirt that says Taylor Swift sucks dick or Taylor Swift pops perks or something like that. Like, everyone. Like I definitely,
Dude,
weeded
this is the
out.
kind of trolling that I love too, because it's
Yeah.
like it doesn't hurt anybody. It's just like silly.
Yeah.
It's
reminds me of Ben Palmer.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know
Like-
Ben Palmer?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
hip.
so-
Oh, you would like him, I think.
So Ben, he's a comedian, and what he does is he'll like make fake Facebook accounts and then like reply to people in like
Like their
community
complaints.
groups,
Yeah.
or like when they like whenever like if Target's like we are inclusive and everyone's like being like homophobic and stuff, he'll go and like reply and like clap back at him.
Yeah.
But,
it
like,
looks like it's
but
from
it looks like it's from
Target.
Target.
Oh, I love that. I saw they were doing that with like Wendy's and shit.
Yeah,
that
that
was
was probably him.
That
Yeah,
was
He made
sick.
that,
That was
yeah.
funny.
Yeah, so he does a lot of that stuff, and
I just fucking love it.
And-
I love that comedy.
and it like led to a point where he got like some congressman like made him into like his right hand man, and like was
No
asking
way.
all this like to help him with content and stuff like that, and then they figured out he was fucking with them the whole time, and
Yeah.
like they tried to like bar him in this convention and shit. Like
Oh my.
oh, yeah,
Video and shit, yeah.
it's crazy
Yeah.
stuff, but it's really really funny.
Yeah, we get related to like crank anchors a lot, and it's
Yeah.
like everyone's just like, oh, like prank calls, like it's like basically we reinvented like prank calls.
Lit-
for, like,
Exactly,
Yes.
the
absolutely.
new generation.
Yeah.
You know?
which is like wild to say because everyone has a smartphone now, and very few people have a landline where they can get hooked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like, not to turn this into like a James Lipton thing. Who are your influences as like a comedian and a prank caller?
Ugh. Honestly,
Was there like something like the Jerky Boys or
no,
Crank
there
Anchors?
was
and-
nothing that even like I said, we've just been doing it since we were kids, and
Yeah.
and it was just a random night. We were just geeked and we just started prank calling again. And I mean, yeah, it's like I said, I was in
Now when
music
you
for
say
so long.
geeked,
Just smoking a bunch of
Whoa! You do drugs, sir?
just weed.
just wait.
That's not a drug. That doesn't count. Dry January, you're allowed to smoke weed during dry January too,
sure,
by the
for
way. But
sure.
yes, respect.
Yeah, but yeah, we get related to the Jerky Boys and Crank Anchors, and honestly, I've never even heard of the Crank Anchors before. I didn't know what it was.
Were they Muppets or something?
Well, the TV show. So that came from a thing
Muppets?
this guy named Jim Florentine started called Terrorizing Telemarketers. And he did his own kind of thing where he'd like have telemarketers call him and he would just keep them on the line
Yeah.
forever. And he wasn't even he was just fucking around.
Yeah,
and then
just doing
finally
it to do it.
his roommate's like, you should record this. It's so funny. And then he's like, oh yeah, I should. And then he started recording it and like made a bunch of albums where he's just fucking with these telemarketers because telemarketers can't hang up.
Yeah,
Like they
Yeah,
have
that's
because like
smart. That's a
That's
good
so
one.
good.
if they think that you have to like if they're gonna make a sale, so as long as you keep you don't swear and keep them on the line, they can do like these 10-20 minute phone calls and then he would like edit them down. Yeah, so Florentine did that and then he got into like he got picked up by his Comedy Central to do Crank Anchors, and that was like a Jimmy Kimmel
Yeah.
show. And but yeah, his terrorizing telemarketers, and then they also did a thing called Meet the Creeps, where it was
I don't remember that one.
See, like again, this is like all like DVD, VHS era stuff, like early 2000s.
When Comedy Central still
Sorry.
nice.
Well, this is like
Still
I
made
don't even know if
shows.
they even. I think they did like one season on Comedy Central. Most of it was just like him selling DVDs, but they like go to restaurants and then just like, one specific I remember is like they're at a restaurant and he orders salmon and then they're like, "Do you want pepper on this?" And then he's like, "Yeah," and he just keeps making up. They go through an entire
Gross.
thing of pepper, and then they have to go get another pepper grinder.
Come
And-
back, keep going.
Yeah, and it keeps going, and then the next person goes, "I'll have the yeah," and so then he starts eating the pepper encrusted, like he's eating it
Oh my God.
and just like like hearing like it's really, but they stay straight faced the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
they don't break, and it's
That's
really
it's about being committed to the bit. Like when I've had to do things where it's like I tell my boys that work like normal corporate jobs, I'm like, you go to work and you have like a duty at work that you have to do, and
Yeah.
like everyone looks at like skit comedy like, oh, they just go there and do it and it's so easy, and it's like, I mean, I have to go into the Wendy's and stare this lady in her face and keep asking her for a Krabby Patty and keep saying "put a girl on" over and over and over and over and over again, you know. And it's like once you're in the bit, like you're locked in. You have usually, like we always say it, like one shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You go in, one take it, and like that's it, you know, and you get out of there.
What's the craziest thing that's happened since you've been like doing it in person? Because I wasn't there one like where they like came out and like tried to get in your car and shit.
Yeah, it was probably the Popeyes one with the
Yeah.
mashed potatoes, and that detail wasn't cheap after that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know this one.
Oh.
What happened?
Oh, wait.
Oh,
So
when
set it up real quick. Not only did because he's an honorable samurai of pranks. Not only the calls weren't good enough, he started showing up
I didn't know that.
to the businesses he was prank calling after they all knew who he was. Take it away.
Yeah, so we do like 30-day seasons. Day 30 is the pull up. And yeah, we'll basically, you know, we'll pull up, we'll get in the parking lot, we'll try to park as close as we can to the front door and basically call the store and be like, "Hey, I'm outside. Like, can you put a girl on?" You know what I'm saying? And then, I mean, whoever comes out, you know. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. But yeah,
Yeah.
everyone's in the comments because I forgot to lock my door the last time. Yeah, it was.
And
That was that to me is like
Popeye stood on their brand though. Like those
Yes, yeah.
employees, they lived up to what everybody thinks a Popeye's employee would do in that situation. They like threw mashed potatoes at you. And, yeah, it was.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, even with the brand, it's like I got some haters too. Like, I mean, I get death threats through DMs all the time. Like, "Oh, fuck you, Mr. Put a Girl On. Like, I'm gonna kill you." And I'm like, damn, like, what's wrong with
Right,
you?
like,
You know what I'm
why?
saying? Like,
Right.
that too. And it's like, I mean, there's a lot of people like trying to debunk me or stuff like that. Like, there are fans that'll drive around to all the locations I've went to and take pictures and
Yeah.
do all that stuff. And
but
it's
you
like,
kind of need like that stuff as much as no one should have death threats issued against them. That stuff definitely emboldens and strengthens the brand.
makes me
though.
more relevant.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure,
You know,
yeah.
constantly being talked about, whether it's any publicity is good publicity.
Right,
You
if
know,
you-
it's something I've come to learn for sure.
Yeah, you got to come up against a little. You got to have
A little
that, I think, to
pushback's a good
build
thing.
it.
If
Honestly, it's a very good thing. I
Yeah.
feel like
well, I mean that's
engagement.
yeah. When people are hating, that means you're doing something right because
For
you're getting people that obviously like the majority of people love what you do and think
Yeah.
it's hilarious, and then you get these people that are usually just cranky fucking losers that don't have anything going
Yeah,
on.
just beating off in their mom's basement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just
Well,
right.
it's always. I always say it's when you
basement,
get when you're doing comedy. Yeah, it is a good
cozy.
wallpaper.
Yeah, it's a
you
cozy
know.
beat off basement. It's fine.
It's very cummy. But it's always someone that doesn't have the balls to do what they wish they were doing what you did.
Yeah.
And then you just had the balls to try it and see it through, and now that you're thriving on it.
And then
everyone-
help it-
It's like it's almost like I could have done that.
And it's not like
Who
it was
can't do
one
that?
video. It's like you've turned it into a thing. Like it's you
Yeah.
know it's your livelihood now. And so it's one thing to like have something pop and be like, okay, that was cool. But like this, you've been creative enough with it where it's not just one thing and then it kind of fades away. Like it's
Yeah.
evolved and it's growing and it's and you're pushing it into other facets too.
Yeah, well, for sure. I mean, it's such like a cult following, and shout out to fans, by the way. But I mean, it is such a cult following. Like, someone is in the comments saying some hater shit. There's 70 replies on that comment, just the fan saying, "Put a girl on."
Right.
That's where
You're in the sweet spot where it's like you found your people, and it's like you got this thing rolling now, and you have you figured out a vision for it beyond what you're doing right now, and so it's very impressive because again, it's not about me specifically, but it's like I can't stand the attention economy and how most content is just motherfuckers bothering retail workers, and there's no punchline.
Doing like the real crazy.
Yeah, it's like it's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank, bro. And it's like, well, I'm not laughing, right?
Yeah.
So to do what you're doing in this day and age is very impressive because at the end of the day, it's funny.
Yeah,
you know,
and it's not really hurting anyone in the long run. Like
Right,
I
right,
see
yeah.
all like the IRL pranks where they're in there spraying someone with a hose in the flower section or
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucked up.
something
yeah.
like that. And especially in the day and age, like it's so easy to get killed doing
Dude,
stuff like that.
literally.
You know what
well,
I'm
like
saying?
my dream video is like, you remember when hood pranks were a thing?
I love the.
Oh, you did.
Of course, dude.
I was like, if I go, my dream video is to see like someone trying to hood prank and just getting like murdered, like slowly and violently in
Yeah.
front of anyone that
They
cares
would
about
get
them.
close, dude. Like I remember watching. There's still dudes that do that stuff on the streets, where they do like pranks, like ask them if they want to fade, but they'll have like some clippers on them or something. You know what I'm saying? But they get guns pulled on them all the time, and it's like, especially like they do it in like the trenches of other cities, but it's like here I wouldn't even play around like that. you
Oh,
know what
fuck
I'm
no.
saying?
Well, no, but I don't. It's a preference thing, but it's like I don't. Why is this funny? Like you're just trying to get beaten brutally, and
Yeah.
that's what I want to see happen now.
Right.
Like
Right,
it's
yeah.
not. Whereas with you, it's like I want to see you get away with it. I want to see how you work your way through this thing to
I wanna know
find
the
the
ending.
payoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there is gonna be an ending, honestly.
And I hope not for
I
you.
don't
Like
think anyone's gonna put a girl on.
No.
Yeah.
What if?
Yeah, like
What happens
Like,
if they do?
yeah.
Everyone asking, like, everyone's just like says that, like what happens if they put a girl on, and everyone's just like, it's not about that, it's about proving a point.
Exactly. You know what? Yes. Yes.
it's like
it's
like
about
you get very-
sending a
yeah.
message.
You're like, it's not so much about the shark and jaws; it's about the terror it incites.
Yeah,
Until you actually see it.
For sure.
We're just lucky that if this had started like 2 years earlier, I feel like Kamala would have been like, "Hey, what if we do vote a girl in?"
Yeah. For sure. That'd be crazy. Bring me out, trying to make me some candidate.
You could probably-
Girl in.
There's no ceiling to the cultural sway you may potentially have with this put a girl on thing. You don't know.
Could be president.
I'm hoping
yeah.
I'm
We
hoping
gotta get
it
a little bit older, but
Super
for
Bowl
it.
2026. I'm hoping we get a put a girl on Doritos commercial. We get like we're clearly all behind you here. We want to see you get like some generational money going
Have-
there with this thing.
Appreciate that. Yeah,
Have
I
you
mean,
called the South yet?
what was that, like just the South? in
Like
general?
people, yeah. Like I just
Like
feel
a
like
whole
So I mean,
confederacy.
it's, like my lawyer basically was telling me like any calls, I can't make calls like to different states or anywhere else just because it's considered federal harassment. So it's like,
dude,
if I get hit with
how much
harassment here-
legalese have you learned because of
lot,
this? Like,
yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. I would have never
Yeah.
thought about that.
All right.
Because it was freaking me out when I first went viral. Like I said, I had to like get in touch with a lawyer immediately.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, I don't care if I get hit with harassment here. It's like the smallest charge ever. I'll pay
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
And bada bing. You know what I'm saying?
And it
But-
only strengthens your brand if you got that right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
I got arrested on camera, like I mean, the fans would bail me out.
Oh,
you know?
for sure.
Fingers fucking crossed.
Yeah.
Motherfucker getting arrested.
I hate people like, you know what you should do, but I'm thinking you and Tim Isney got to get together, do something, put a girl on thing. Because
Put
if
a
you're,
girl on Tim Misney.
I'll
Yeah.
pull up to
Hey.
Disneyland. I'll
you
pull
got
up to Disneyland.
you gotta fucking you gotta pull up to fucking Tim Misney and make him put a girl on. I think that's not the end game for you. I think that's just the next
I gotta
step.
find him. But everyone's bothering me to do like more like higher up things. Like they want me to call a law firm or they want me to call, all these bigger places like
You know who I think you should call?
the police station.
No, Tractor Supply company or whatever, like TSC.
Yeah.
I just feel like if you call like a place in like a rural part of Ohio and
Yeah.
like get somebody that's got, the southern draw or whatever,
Yeah, like the true
And they don't know
Yeah.
about you at that point. 'cause
Yeah.
They're just fucking.
Yeah, I think
out
that'd be
there.
I think
That
that'd
would
be fun.
funny.
Yeah.
Like
I was
TSC would be a good
surprised
one.
like more so of like, like just doing the internet thing is like in any sense like music or whatever, like the internet is key, you know what I'm saying? Just to widen your brand, but I didn't know how many people in the city actually knew about it. Like I go to get a pizza or the grocery store or anywhere
Yeah.
I go, it's crazy
Hell yeah,
every
that's
single
cool.
time.
So yeah, so my
Ooh, Ohio Pie collaboration. Put a girl on a pizza.
I don't want my people to have like just shitty put a girl on imitators. Like fucking
Leave it out.
Rob Sindel him. He's like, hey man, can I talk to you for a second? You know. But like, I forgot what I was gonna. I had a question lined up and I forgot it. But
How
anyway,
many girls have you gotten for this?
What was that?
How many girls have you gotten from this?
Like how many girls like have I like?
Fucked?
Fuck.
Yeah. Do you
let's
get
get
a
down
lot?
to brass
Do you get a lot?
tacks here.
Huh?
Do you get a lot? I feel like you get a lot. He's
It's confidential
it's
for
insane.
sure, but it's just like
Yeah, you don't
I
want to put the
mean,
numbers out there.
it's crazy just because more so it's like now it's like I feel like dating isn't even real in a sense because it's like you know you
Is
see
it-
that
you
I have
feel like
clout.
it's-
It's like
yeah.
you know I have like you're thinking I have money, so it's like
Yeah.
you know,
Anybody make you say
just-
it when you're fucking him?
No.
Okay,
no,
that's
no.
good. That's
I had
good.
like a-
That's
I know a lot of girls are getting put on right now. is
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying.
know.
I'm buying a lot of burner phones after this.
Yeah.
So, can we? So, do you just buy like? You don't do this just from like your
I
phone,
got
like
3
you-
phones.
yeah. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
figured. I
I'm
figured you
sure
got some
one-
burners like some Walter White shit going on here.
Yeah, I got one for the calls, my regular phone, and then one for streaming. But I mean, my number had gotten doxed at 1.2,
Oh no.
and it was just fucking hell. Like,
Oh, so when you started, because you had no idea what it was going to turn into, you just were doing this off your freaking.
I actually had
original
so I
phone.
was doing it off my buddy's phone at first, and then I just
He's like, "What
had,
the fuck?"
You know,
You know, you got a great idea. Where like you're like, I got something in mind here. Give me your phone. No.
it
Not
was he would
mine.
come over at like because we drop the call every single day at 7 p.m. It's scheduled, you know, every day throughout the week at the same time. And I would literally call him over like 6 p.m. like, yo, get over here, like we got to do this, you know. And then it just, you know, me and him ended up falling out, and I was like, all right, looks like I got to get a burner phone.
Was he like, when do I get to put a girl on?
Pretty much,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just, you know, it's especially trying to build a brand, you need the right people around you. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? No one that's just gonna try to put in a quarter of the work and expect to reap all the benefits.
I think
Well,
that
that's kind of goes back to the dating thing where you're like, you just want to say that you fucked the put a girl on guy, or do you
Yeah, for
actually
sure.
like
That was like a
enjoy
big
me?
thing with
Yeah.
my ex. My ex like hated my brand, like,
Yeah.
Aw,
and that's
yeah.
like the mother of my child. Like hated my brand,
Yeah.
like more so just like kind of jealous about it. But then it's like now I'm so focused on work. It's just like I don't even give a fuck. Like,
Right.
I can't focus
is it hard
on
for you
women,
to
like.
is it hard for you to explain to people close to you that what you do is actually work at this point?
I feel like everybody like understands, you know, just in the sense of like seeing like I do the merch myself, I ship it out, I bag it, I do it, like especially the boys coming over and see just us filling boxes and boxes and boxes of clothes.
That's
So the
awesome
merch
that
is
the
moving.
takes
Oh,
off
yeah,
too,
for
because
sure.
that's
Nice.
That's one of those things that like you really do have to have that cult following to get people to like buy merch off
Yeah.
of a website. Like
Mhm.
that's
Yeah,
that,
for
I
sure.
mean,
Where can-
Pants knows that.
Yeah, dude, it's that. If you can crack the code on that, then and that's a hard one to crack. You're gold. But
Yeah.
where can we'll put a link in all the shares? But like
Yeah,
where
so-
can they get merch
Put a
from?
link in.
So put a girl on at Big Cartel. Yeah, my links in my Instagram bio, everything, YouTube, all that stuff.
And you're doing some meetups in cities and stuff when you get out there.
Yeah, well, usually whenever like so we just went to Vegas. You guys remember that submarine that imploded?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So the father and son that were supposed to be on it, he was a huge fan. He ended up flying me out to Vegas.
Crazy. And these are the ones that were supposed to like they didn't
They were
make it.
supposed to be on it,
They're
yeah,
alive.
and they're billionaires, yeah,
Yeah.
and they, you
Damn,
know,
that's-
they flew us out there and to go to his dad's annual Halloween party. I mean, Michael Keaton was there dressed as Beetlejuice. Like, you know, we're just fucking. It was crazy, but it was just off the muscle of put a girl on. He just would message me every day and be like, you know, these videos make me so happy, man.
Aw.
And I was supposed to go to Arkansas to host this Halloween party, and he was like, drop Arkansas and I'll fly you out to Vegas right now. And I was
That's
like, say less, you know?
incredible.
Because it's all
That's
about the connection.
incredible.
Like that was a major connection.
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, that's incredible.
You have to.
yeah.
You have to
And
at that point.
I mean, yeah, it was nuts. Just
Hell yeah.
That's I
That
mean
rules
like
so hard.
I didn't realize it was like that big.
yeah, yeah.
That's
it's
cool.
definitely-
That's
we're,
sick.
we're just about to touch 500,000 followers in 6
Damn.
months.
that's
Oh, yeah.
sick.
That
So
is
wait,
sick.
okay, so when was the first put a girl on as this thing? When was the first call placed? Or when did you start posting? I guess.
My son was born July 11th. July 12th was the first call, but so we had been doing it like
So fast.
we started.
Yeah,
on-
yeah, that's crazy.
That-
That's
started
crazy.
on day 8.
Yeah.
And everybody always asks like, where are the first Taco Bell episodes? You know, but I was like, realistically, we were just calling them so much one day that we were just like, all right, let's just start it at day 8. We've already called them 8 times and got these reactions, and we hadn't filmed them. We were just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
So it's January 2025. So you've basically been doing this maybe 7 months.
Yeah, just coming up on
Oh
7
wait,
months.
literally
Yeah.
that's it. Oh fuck.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a
I
wild
was like
trajectory.
waiting for the
That's
year.
a wild.
I didn't realize
No,
it was
no,
that
it was-
new.
it's
I kind of just assumed. Yeah,
okay.
I definitely assumed you
But
were
it popped
putting
off
years
real
in on
fast.
this thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah,
It
like,
still goes crazy. I mean, with the followers and stuff, it's like, I mean, we'll probably be at 1 million, by the time we do hit the year mark.
Yeah.
Which is
that's
cool.
crazy.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah, that
sick.
rules.
That's
That
very
rules.
cool. Very cool.
So, with the growth of it all, and like, what's the overall plan? I know you said you're doing more sketches. Do you have tour dates out there? Do you got? Or
No,
like,
I mean,
just kind of figuring that stuff out now.
yeah, I mean, so basically we're working on a cartoon.
Okay.
So we're gonna, I have like one made that I had dropped. We're basically trying to drop like a series of the 30-day seasons as cartoons,
Nice.
That's
and stuff like that. I mean, February I got booked for a wedding. I got to go surprise some dude's friend that's getting married at some wedding. He's paying me to fly me out to do that.
I would assume this is a man of means, financially speaking.
So I mean, he had like a good amount on Instagram, but he was actually a musician. He had like 150K, and I mean, right when I told him the price, I mean, he just had me write up an invoice and send it over. He paid me right there. So
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
You are quite literally in 2025 living the American dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Like
is the
you-
new
Hell yeah.
American dream.
This is
honestly, though.
two kids and a picket fence and a home ain't it anymore. You are getting paid to fly to Vegas to say put a girl on.
about right, yeah.
Respect.
That rules.
Yeah, you're talking to 3 people here that have spent literally years trying to strike gold with what
Dude,
you
I've
know.
been doing comedy for 20 years, and I like I'll get a video that goes viral once in a while, but it never like will take off like this. So I'm like,
Yeah, hell yeah.
nothing but respect to you for doing
Truly.
it and doing it in
Appreciate
such
you,
a
thank you.
funny way. Because there's the people that do it and like, it's not my thing, but like what you do is actually funny and like kind of edgy and original too.
Yeah.
And originality is hard to come by these days.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That was one thing I didn't even know to go when we were doing it. Like, we were just having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
Isn't that crazy? And like you said, you were in the music scene for so long, and like you put your heart and soul into that, and like
Yeah.
couldn't get it to take off. And I imagine you're pretty proficient at all that shit.
Yeah.
And it's just, and then you do this silly little thing, and then boom.
right.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah,
do
no, I
it.
mean, it turned into something crazy. I mean, we run it like a full machine.
Yeah.
You have to.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And,
the
But all those-
consistency is what's is where everyone falls short is the consistency in actually treating it as a job.
And all those years as a musician and promoter and all the things that you have to do to be a musician set the table for you to know how to handle this when it
Yeah,
hit.
for sure. And I mean, yeah, especially it helped me cut a lot of people out of my life I didn't need in my life, just toxic stuff. And
Yeah.
it's I like how my team is. Everyone works out. They're level-headed. They want to make a future for themselves. So
They're not
Yeah.
doing shots of Fernet at 11 a.m.
I would have done that with you. I wasn't on the antibiotics. I would have done that with you.
Well, we'll do a follow-up episode where we all get
Yes.
fucking.
Well, yeah, and not to side chat it, but we got to get a meetup going here at Old 86. We got to
Honestly, yeah,
we'll
I
hook
would
it up.
love to do something like that. And yeah, I mean, we could talk about it after the show for sure.
for sure.
But that would be awesome.
Cool. All right. Well, I think we can put a bookend on this one. Thank you for coming on. We're honored to have you as your the first podcast you've ever done. This is cool for us. Yeah, put a girl on Instagram.
Yeah.
No, is it? Is that what it is?
Yeah, put a girl on Instagram. Shout out all the fans. Shout out my team. Shout out everyone, man. Shout out you guys for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Anytime.
You
Stop
you
by
for
anytime.
coming.
Yeah. Thanks for coming to Cleveland, America.
Fuck
It's
yeah,
not
you
as
Thank you
good
very
as
much.
it is.
Bye.
Put a girl on.